Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and today is a very, very special show that I have. And what makes it special is the experience, insight, and track record of not only learning about life but also sharing that wealth of knowledge as life coach, as well as someone who has evolved to become an expert about holistic health space. Now, there is so much that I want to tell you about my guest today. She can see beyond what is normally possible for us to see, would be understatement. And there are many areas in our lives where we don't know how our destiny is being shaped, and Destiny with Divya is the theme with which we will be learning more about how to grow and realize our full potential. And I take distinct pleasure in welcoming someone who moved from corporate life to the life where it is all about spiritual dimension and how we can have the wholesome, enriching experience of being alive. And once again, such a delight and pleasure to have you here, Divya ji. Namaste.
Namaste.
So, आपका स्वागत करते हुए, I want our viewers to learn a little bit more about you. You were vice president of a company, and what made you leave altogether that career graph which was leading you to towards higher achievements and shift your focus towards helping people?
तो मेरी जर्नी जो है वो अगर शॉर्ट में बताएं, इतने सालों में बहुत छोटे शहर से हूँ मैं, धनबाद। पापा मेरे कोल माइंस में काम करते थे। ही वॉज अ जनरल मैनेजर, रिटायर्ड CGM, और life was very peaceful. As you know of like the place like Dhanbad, it's like a coal belt, and there were lots of misconceptions about that place. लेकिन journey moving forward was like very peaceful, like very people were very cooperative. It was like a small town environment where people were like very good at studies, always wanted to do something in life. Just after like 12th grade, people will go to engineering college, medical college, or strive to become an administrative services officers. And most of my colleagues, my friends, like they reached to like some place. So my journey was like more like a flow. I did not strive much to become this today. It was just, I was just going with the flow. So first thing first is like probably my parents inculcated in me flexibility. Yes, there would be roadblocks. Think about the solution and you will find a solution. If you're just cribbing about the problem, you will not be able to find a solution. So I'll just share you a very interesting story from my 12th grade, that I had like a small prick here in my thumb, and I was like, oh my God, Dad, I cannot write. It's like hurting so much. My finger's hurting so much. He kept looking at me. He kept hearing me that I have a small prick in my right hand and I cannot write. And I have exams 2 months from now, and it's like, so my dad said, you know what, I'm going to meet my friend. Do you want to come with me? I was like, sure, why not? So I just, he had a scooter and I just rode with him to, I didn't even know where he was going. Okay, so he stopped at a hospital. I was like, okay, this is Central Hospital. Why I'm here? It's like, I told you I'm here to meet a friend of mine. I was like, okay, we go inside. This person was in mind accident. His both legs and hands were broken. He was lying like hands up and both the legs up tied. I looked at him, looked at my thumb. I'm like, okay, Dad, I know what you mean. So we can look at a problem as a very small thing and as a very big thing. It is up to us how we vision that issue, right? And that is what my biggest, like I have many lessons, but this was one lesson that I will be always indebted to my dad that he gave me. He did not say anything that don't worry about it, it'll get healed, you band-aid it, nothing. He just created a situation and it's ingrained in my mind. So this was like most holistic thing to do to your child, right? Do not point them.
Expose them to see
Yeah,
for themselves.
Yes, just give them the opportunity to learn, right? I moved from there. I got into college in Kanpur, which is like plain. It's plain in India, right? I was from a coal town, and my progression was into plains of Uttar Pradesh. I am in HBTI Kanpur doing computer science. Here I met a very handsome guy called Sanjay Madar, my husband. Right now he's my husband. At that time, I had no clue that he's gonna be my future husband. I see him and I'm my God, something happens and I do not know what's happening. And that was my mystic journey started with him. I'm like screaming at him, like, why don't you say hello to me? Why don't you talk to me? I'm like yelling at him. And I'm like, why the hell I'm doing this to him? Like, I do not know this guy. I'm like, when I turned around, I'm like, I do not know this guy. But like, third day I see him again, I'm like, why is he not talking to me? I'm like, why I'm bothered about this guy? I do not know this person at all. And slowly, I'll share some of those mystic stories that happened during that time, and that led to our marriage. But long story short, I moved from there again. Now this time, he took me to, like, we got married, and he took me to Suraikhet, which is like hills and mountains, Himalayan range. And here I met this guy whom my husband said that he was his guru. Since he was 8th grade, he was doing meditation, and he's the guru. And he sees through rice. Like, he takes the rice in his hand. Like, if you go to him, you give him some rice, he'll look at the rice and he'll start talking about your past, present, future, whatever. I was like, wow, this is like something. And I was like, not only impressed, but with this, I was like, if something like this exists, I want to know this. I want to learn this. I had nothing happening in my life. My life was beautiful, nothing, no issues. But I need to learn this art. Like, how can he just look at the rice and look at and tell me about my grandparents that he had no clue about, tell me about my parents, that what they might be doing right now, and then tell me about like my past, like something. I was like, oh my God, this is profound. I need to know this. I need to learn this. So he takes us to a temple on the, it was at, I say, we trekked for say 20-25 minutes. It's already hills, so 20-25 minutes up there. And there's a like small temple. The goddess has is in like a small cave inside it. And there's nothing, there's just like a cover with 4 pillars, and there is like a Havan Kund, which is like the fire for doing fire rituals. I was like, okay, this is something I have never seen before. It is something profound. And I close my eyes and I have a vision that why I am with this guy whom I call my husband. And that it is like a movie, like a surreal movie. My eyes are closed and I see that I'm dying. And I could clearly know that it was my past life. And I'm dying. This person is holding me in his hand, in his arms, and I have 4 sons standing by my side. All I know that I looked at him and I said, "Is life में भी नहीं हुआ." And like I did not achieve that in this life too. At that time, I had no clue what I'm talking about, that what I did not achieve in that life. That question kept haunting me, but still, I was like, okay, let's see, have fun, right? And we came back. So this was like my honeymoon, that I was initiated into something, you would say mystical. It is mystical for me, but it made sense that, okay, so if this is the reason, that's why whenever I see him, I'm like, why he's not talking to me? I know him, he knows me, why he is not talking to me? And
okay, so I have to interrupt you here because it is so interesting, intriguing, and at the same time, it is puzzling for a common mind to appreciate where you are leading. And you are such a wonderful, if I say, storyteller. So we forget how it is. And as you mentioned, mystical, but there is a sense of impatience, and that is probably somewhere in some of our viewers also, as to how your story is going to be relevant in terms of becoming a source of holistic help or as a life coach. So I know I interrupted you, but when that question came to your mind that this is something fascinating and you want to know, so did that guru help you? Your own practices helped you? And if we jump a lot of steps, then where you are now, do you see that seed of inquisitiveness which you found in yourself, seeing that, looking at the rice, he can say past, present, future of the person in front of him. So have you reached somewhere near that desire to learn about this art or knowledge?
Yes, very much yes. That was the seed. But he did not help me in like how I can see things. He just initiated me into meditation. He gave me some meditations to practice every day. And I was not expecting anything out of it. I was practicing. I was just doing the practicing, and I liked doing meditation. That was it. And I was already incorporated into corporate world. I had one after another. I had 2 children. My daughter came in my life, and then my son came in my life. And my meditation was still going on. I was working with a good conglomerate in India also before I moved to US. So my son was 5 months, and I was given an opportunity to come to US. Just before I came here, I was introduced to Reiki healing by my mom. It was again a very profound experience, and I practiced it. Like I learned it. It was 2-day, full day. And as I was told by my teacher that I need to practice it for 21 days, 1.5 hours or something. Like this was like 3 minutes every point, so 21 into 3, so this much time you have to practice every day. And I did, like just like small kid with me, I was practicing it. So I always knew if you have a priority, you will find time for it. It's not that you need to like special time, a special day to practice something. I practiced it. And just after that, I came back to, like I was living in Delhi at that time. My parents were still at Dhanbad. I came back. I was suffering from thyroid since I was in college. I had thyroid issue. I still have like a small gland there. So I was under treatment for thyroid for so many months. And I was on the like thyroid medication. Every morning I had to gulp that small hormone tablet. But to my surprise, I went for the checkup. There was nothing. I was normal. And my doctor's like, no, it's not possible. You have to take this medicine all along. Like it's like lifelong thing. Either you get operated or you take this medication. Like there's no way you can get out of it. But then they said that see the results, and they're like, if the results are showing normal, we cannot give you medication anymore. And this is DRDO. This is not like any normal place. This is DRDO. Defense Research Development Organization, they have a medical wing. They do research on people with, so I was like, okay. So like, then I was like, what exactly might have happened? How is it possible that I'm not having this? Still there is doubt, right? So I went to another doctor, and they gave me tests to another hospital. I got tested 3 times, and my results were like approximately same. Like it's still like within normal range. And all of them said, no, you do not have to take this medication anymore. And I was like, for 8 years, every single day I have gulped this. Like, are you sure I'll be okay? It's like, results say so. So what you need to do is like keep yourself testing every 6 months. That will be your prevention. Okay, I come to US. And here also they're testing me. My tests are still coming normal, but I have a node here. And my doctor's like, if you don't get operated, it'll turn into cancer in few years, and nobody will be able to touch me because I have already told you that you should get yourself operated. I was like, I went to the doctor for like setting up the appointment for operation. And I asked him one thing, like, what are my chances in getting a cancer? I have no symptoms. So he kept like, they have like a whole questionnaire that if you have a thyroid issue, do you have this, do you have this, do you have this? I had that, but now I know I do not have any of those. And he said, what do you do? Do you do anything? I'm like, not much, but I practice something called Reiki, which is like so this is like every point I give myself feeling, there's a way to do it. was like, okay. So dear, what I would say, you don't need an operation urgently, no way. But if something changes, come to me and I'll have you get you to operation table and get you operated. I was like, all right. So operation cancelled, I'm back home, and it's been almost like 15 years since then, that or maybe more, that I did not have, still do not have any thyroid issues. My tests are still normal. So that was...
So Divya, now again, connecting with anyone who looks at his own life or her own life and they see, okay, this is her experience and she did practice, but is there any way that she can help me because I'm suffering from such disease, and how will that fit in terms of a normal understanding of how health related issues, we go to doctor, allopathy medicine, this test, that test, and now here is something either called it cosmic healing, Reiki, or whatever it is. When we are suffering from something and we want that to be healed, then we are not concerned as to what is the science behind it. We want to be healed. So from that point of view, if you put the angle towards the other people, so what you learned either through cosmic healing in the form of Reiki or some other practices, was there any, when was it for the first time that you felt that because of the meditation that I have done, or because of the alignment that I have with the cosmic force, that I'm in a position to heal somebody? When that experience came your way for the first time?
So right after I found this astonishing result, I was like, no, this is something that has to be told, and I cannot keep it to myself. So anyone coming to my house, like if an auntie came with a knee problem, like let me see if I can do something. So I'll put my hands on their knee, they'll get better. Somebody is like, oh, somebody is in my house, earache, can I try? It was just like I was just trying. I just wanted to convince myself this works. And the kid is like, okay, playing. The auntie is like, Divya, what did you do that day? I do not have any pain. I'm like, really? It works? Somebody with a back pain, I just touched their back. Next day it's like, done, nothing. And I'm like praying, obviously, I'm doing something. Like I'm just not touching my hand, I am just doing some process. In a party, I'm talking to somebody totally unknown, and we started talking, and she's like, oh, I have such a shoulder pain, and I'm gonna get operated tomorrow. I'm like, let me see. I'm putting in the party, 20 people, I'm just putting my hands on her shoulder. And 2 days later, I found out that she had no pain, and doctors postponed her surgery. She never had to go for surgery. So I was like, okay, this works. And then I started practicing, and then I started doing like meditation sessions while. So it was like more like friends and family, and I kept it hidden for a very long time. Very few people knew that I had this in my hands. So while I was driving, my friend or a family member would call me like, we are going through this, can you help? So I had like several instances since 2000. I learned Reiki in 1999, and since then there were several instances that people were getting like healed back to back. I was like, yes, this is happening. And then I got an opportunity to be another guru. Like I have a spiritual inclination, so people just came in front of me. It was not that I was seeking. It was just on TV. I see this guru, and I'm like, just like, like it's just like a kind of attraction. I was like, what he's saying makes sense to me. I have to go to him. So they had like they call it Shivir, it's a meditation session. So I am there in Calcutta, 9 days. Like I'm in India for 9 days only for this, not with whole family, not alone. My whole family, my parents' side, my husband's side, like 17, 18 people. We took even kids, like 5, 7. Like I just felt it is profound that everybody should know what he's talking about. So I saw him on TV multiple times. And before getting to a shiver, I was like, oh my God, this is so profound. What he's saying is so correct. And it just resonated with me. And this is like another meditation session. I'm sitting there and something is already telling me from inside, this is gonna be my life-changing moment. I do not know what it was guiding me, but it was life-changing moment. That was the time that I started feeling that the healing that I have in my hand has increased multi-folds. So I have done Shiva Yoga healing. And then I learned from various sources, pranic, theta, this, that. Like I kept looking at every possible avenues which can help others.
Okay, so let us see how it is going to be helpful for anyone who is watching this conversation. And her story, called that story of evolution, and story about increasing her understanding of how life force govern, and in what way she can become a medium to heal others. It is very fascinating. But more important for us at the moment is she gradually found herself becoming one with inner calling to be more focused and dedicated instrument in the pursuit of offering a sense of healing and helping people resolve different kind of problems. But today we will just touch a little bit about the health issue, the way she narrated. Many of my doctor friends would find it difficult to comprehend what is she talking about. So let us jump to the moment when somebody said that because of the intervention or the help which came my way from Divya, I got healed. And there must be some doctor in the same social setting who must be wondering, what is she talking about? Did you come across such moments?
The good part is, as of now, lots of doctors, friends send their patients to me because they know I really respect the profession of medicine, and I feel that if Ayurveda was complete, the other medication system would not have been formed. So yes, there was a need, and because of those needs, all those medical systems are in place. I really appreciate Ayurveda. I really appreciate Chinese medicine or Unani medicine or allopathic medicine or Western medicine, whatever you call it. Everybody has its place in everybody's life. So what I feel like we are complementing each other. So recently, it's a very recent experience that one of my doctor friend, she has sent one of her patient to me because this guy was suffering from allergy issue, edema, for a very long time. And when he came to me, as soon as I started like working on him, so I do like you can say like scanning, right? And for that you do not have to be present with me. I do not need anyone to be around me. I am better off on phone or Skype or anything, because I work at a different level. Like I feel that with my practice, I can connect to a different level. It's very scientific. Like you have a physical body, right? Then we have a life force energy body. Like we all breathe. That breath is not individual to us. This body is individual to us, but that air that you breathe is not individual to you, right? Then secondly, when we move forward, mind, it is not individual to you. You learn something by your own experience, you learn something by other people's experience. So, and then we have a fourth body, which is like a knowledge body, which is like a rule book, which says this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. And then there's a fifth body, which is our soul body. We all know that we have something more to this physical body. Something goes out of this body and this body does not exist. So I somehow, by practicing or working or grace, I do not know what you would call it, but I feel I work at a different level. I do not work on your physical body. So I connect to that level and I scan you. As I close my eyes and start scanning, so I feel I connect to you through breath. So wherever you are in this universe, I would not say universe, I would say earth plane for the time being, okay? So when I'm connected to you, I connect to your breath and I'm like focused on breath, and immediately like I start getting all the information. So later I found out you can call it Akashic records, that what has happened and why it happened to you. And it's like a movie. So this guy, I'll just quickly share this story so that you understand what happened. So this is an allergy issue. As soon as I connected to him, I felt that he has something related to hair, like cutting. So I started seeing he worked in a barber shop. And he was like, he wanted everything spick and span. But you know, like in a barber shop, every time you cut the hair, there will be still like one hair lying somewhere in the corner. So he kept cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. And his boss or the owner of that place, he was like really angry with him, because every time he would come, like even if he tried his level best, there would be some place where there would be like 2 pieces of hair lying. So he got so allergic to that place. Like whatever I do, like I hate this job, I hate this thing, and I hate, like probably hair is the one which is causing me problem. So I was like, what do you think about like hair salons and all? He's like, I would rather be bald, Divya, than having hair. Like I hate hairs, I hate salons. And I was like, okay, so what I'm thinking is, and what I'm seeing is correct. So this movie is going on, and it's like the allergy that he has, and the person who was his owner of that facility, wherever he was working in his past life, was like, so the hatred that he had ingrained in him also was binding this guy. So I see this person is not there in his life, but what I do is like I start, like whatever my process is, like I start praying for them the way I have to, and I pray for him, I pray for this person, and this person slowly dissolves. Like maybe he was still living in his aura or something. So he just moves away from him. I see him moving away from him, and he starts getting better. And I have emails from him that how, even if I don't tell him everything, I see certain things. And this is where so doctors, they do their best. They can help the physical level. So yes, go ahead.
No. Really, I think it is such a fascinating side of life where we feel as if we are drawn in the mystical space or mysterious plane where we don't understand, we cannot comprehend a lot of stuff. Today we have reached to the point where probably we'll be thanking Divya Madanji for sharing in what way she extends healing in the holistic way, as well as she's a life coach, and she has her organization Soulful Living LLC. You can find more details about her from soulfullivingllc.com, and the number that we displayed is also important for you to keep with you in case you want to reach out to her. And that number again I'll have here on the screen, which is 412, and then it is 378-2551. And indeed, divya.madan@soulfullivingllc.com is the email where you can share all about whatever it is that you have in mind. And in this 30 minutes time, you must have been amazed like me to see the transformation in terms of our understanding about Divya Madan, starting from a small town, doing her computer engineering course, becoming aware of this side of life which is beyond that which is visible. And if she works on that subtle plane, and there is some way for us to take advantage of her meditative practices, as well as her understanding of the subtle aspect of how life force works through us, for us. That'll be great, and we'll have more sessions with her. But for now, I know there is much more that you want to know from her, and of course in the next episode we'll have more sharing in terms of how we can connect with Divya ji for Destiny. So Destiny with Divya would continue as a series, but thank you very much, Divya ji, for joining us today.
Namaste.
Such a pleasure. Thanking her and thanking all of you with lots of good wishes. Thanks for being a part of Destiny with Divya today. This is Ashok Vyas.